When you're faced with such a serious diagnosis that has a timeline or a quote unquote end time, how does your relationship with time change? Because you're spending, once you decided the pathway you're going to take, you're taking hours a day of leaning into that. How does that affect the rest of your life, I guess?
Well, it makes you appreciate life in a way that you never have done before. So for me, it was especially around my kids. So beforehand, I was working 14, 16-hour days, 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. I wasn't there for them enough. I knew what the sound of the giggle was like through a wall. I didn't spend enough time actually playing with them. I was the dad who kind of stepped back and let my partner put the kids to bed. I wasn't there for a lot of their younger childhood, especially for my elder little boy. And this made me reevaluate the entirety of what matters and what my priorities are. So now I will never go back to working 16-hour days. I will never go back to working 7 days a week. I will never throw myself into that in any way, shape, or form. I no longer have the need for money in the same way I did. I no longer have the want for success and a great job title and all these things that I thought I wanted before. What this has really done is, instead of refocusing time, it's refocused my priorities around how I use that time. And my priorities very quickly switched to my partner and my children, and making sure that they had good memories of me, making sure that when I'm gone, they can turn around and say, yeah, he was a good dad. He spent time with us. He made me laugh. He was here. He was present. He was able to be the dad I needed. Not he was in his office and he made lots of money and he had a sports car, because in reality, what does any of that really matter when we're gone?
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. Nobody really remembers it, and if they do, it's not at the top of the list of things that they say,
But
right?
unless you're Elon Musk.
Right, right. Um, so how old are your kids?
So they're now 2 and 4.
Okay, all right. So I want to kind of ask you this because Father's Day here just passed, and then kind of was talking
Same
in
here.
conversation with some fathers about just the idea of when we're young and our kids are young, we want to try to go out and amass as much wealth or do as many things as we can. Because typically around that, we're still kind of young, right? And we're still trying to find our footing or trying to build our career or trying to build our business. And a lot of guys kind of get into the mindset of saying, maybe I'll spend more time with the kids when things slow down. And I always caution guys that what time doesn't really slow down. Things continue to happen. And if you have that mindset, then it just takes longer before you actually spend that time. And what happens is you sacrifice the experiences with your kids. The big reminder is that your fatherhood is their childhood, and everybody remembers their childhood. You also want them to remember you as a part of it. What advice would you have to guys who kind of have that idea of, waiting until things slow down?
First, I would say that was very well said, Rod. That's exactly the mindset here. And that's a very important point. What I would say to those guys out there who are listening to this and thinking it's fine, I'll just get the career out the way first, etc. There is always something. No matter what, there is always a next thing in the way, and it's always I'll do it after this. I'll do it after I bought the house. I'll do it after we've extended the house. I'll do it when we're this. I'll do it when I've made partner. I'll do it. There is always something in the way unless you make that time now. And every future you can possibly imagine can be built around time for your family. And in reality, to be present, all you really need is 20 minutes a day of uninterrupted time with your kids. To take that 20 minutes to put the phone away completely, to put every distraction away completely, and spend 20 minutes sat on the floor or sat at the table doing a jigsaw puzzle or just doing something with them. It doesn't genuinely matter what. You don't need to spend money and go somewhere. You don't need to whatever. You just need to spend time with them. And they will remember that presence far more than they remember the presents you gave them or the places you took them. They will remember you being there. They will remember the emotional availability. They will remember that present human being who was their support, their rock, their everything. And little kids really do focus their entire world around their parents, especially when they're little, up until the ages where they're going to school properly at sort of 5 or 6 as it is over here. You are their everything. So the more time you put in then, the more money you have in the bank in terms of emotional availability of your children when they're older. So spend it now and live it.